Are you ready for this episode? Are you ready to get started?
Are you ready for this episode?
I'm ready. I'm ready for this episode. Okay.
When you're ready for the reading of the seeds, I will give them to you.
All right. Well, everybody, this episode right here, we're going to be diving into this NBA season. We wanted to give a couple games before we gave predictions. All right. So, as I was saying before, I had to go fix a couple things. So I'm going to break down the division. I'm just going to run through this real quick because this is something that I like to do. And as I was saying, I had this done for the football season. Now, for that, I'd probably say I got...
But the football season is easy.
I got 70 to 80% right. I got a couple teams slightly wrong, but other than that, I think I did really well considering that's like the second time I've ever really went through and done that and put it down into paper and checked myself going, check myself from the past, check my past self with my future self. Something like that. I don't know. So, you can be the voice of reason on any of these. Tell me if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong, tell me if you think differently. So I'm going to start in the Eastern Conference, and I'm going to go with the Atlantic. So number one, obviously the Brooklyn Nets are going to win there. You got Boston 2, Philly 3, Toronto 4, the Knicks at 5 in that division. I think that's just how it's going to play out. It's probably the strongest division in the East. I mean, that's hands down. Yeah, you got spoiler for going forward. No, I'm kidding. It's not even a spoiler. Preview going forward. I have multiple teams from this division making the playoffs.
I mean, I do too. I don't see why that division...
That division is basically going to be the deciding factor of who wins the East. Yeah. In general. So, then you got the Central.
Not shit.
Yeah, I mean, when you drive into the Central, you got the Bucks and you got the Pacers, and then you got three just unreasonable teams with the Cavs, the Pistons, and the Bulls. And I have them all in that order, so it's Bucks, Pacers, Cavs, Pistons, Bulls.
Two of those teams are undefeated right now.
Yes. However, we are still early in the season. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Look, I'm not putting any stock into it. If you see the teams that are undefeated, they're not teams that are going to be making a deep run in the playoffs or even making it to the playoffs.
No, I think the Cavs, the Pistons, and the Bulls are 3 of the 5 worst teams in the NBA.
I don't know if the Pistons are the worst team.
They're going to be down there. They're going to be down there. Unfortunately, they are going to be down.
They're going to be in like the bottom.
Okay, so for the Southeast, I got Miami winning that one. The Hawks number 2, Wizards 3, Magic 4, Hornets at 5. Now the Hornets and the Golden State Warriors. Oh my bad. The Hornets and the Knicks are the other 2 teams that I have in that bottom 5 range. When I have the Warriors sitting at number 6, tied with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Think that's unreasonable as a bottom 7? No, I only say that because I think...
You mean like a bottom 7 in the league altogether?
Yes, bottom 7 in the league altogether. Yeah. I think.
Wait, you're putting the Warriors at the bottom 7?
Unfortunately, I don't think that team is going to be that good. But I think not having Klay Thompson on that team...
It does hinder them. But
it hinders them a lot. Now, it will depend on how good James Wiseman progresses throughout the year. If he progresses, they can go up.
I don't even think that'll help him. Have you seen the bricks that fucking Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre have been laying down over there?
First of all, Andrew Wiggins, when you go back and look at him, he's only like a 30% three-point shooter. He's not good. These not a good player.
Buckets in general. Yeah, I think they both have like a combined 3 buckets in between them right now.
Yeah, they're not really.
Okay.
Hold on. Andrew Wiggins is not good.
Kelly
Oubre, I think, could be really good. I think he could. And I think that on the Warriors, he has potential to grow. I just need to see it going throughout the season, right?
I don't see it at all.
He hasn't progressed yet to where we thought he might have been when we saw that he was going to be on the Golden State Warriors.
He was good last year. Why not just make sure that the ball actually is doing the exact same shit, right? Exact same thing. The ball's just not going in the bucket. I'm literally just seeing it rim out and just not. They're both missing just
I know,
wine-ass.
but you gotta.
What? Hold on.
I
Why
get
are
it.
people just missing wine-ass
It's because
layups
it's so
like this?
early in the season that nobody's in true shape yet. We'll see it go away.
Layup?
I know. Look, they're pros. They're pros.
A layup?
They're pros. I get it.
People shouldn't expect us to make layups.
I get it.
But the professionals?
I know. They need to do better. Alright,
The Warriors need to do much better. Yeah, I guess let's go on to the Western Conference.
Since we're talking about Golden State, let's go into the West. I'll start with the Northwest. I got Denver winning that, Portland falling behind them, Utah behind them, OKC and the Timberwolves rounding that out.
So are these like...
This is in order of where they're going to stand in their division at the end of the year.
You don't think Utah will win more games than Portland?
No, I don't.
Really?
I really don't.
What makes you say that?
I love Damian Lillard, and I think that this year he is going to progress.
How many times have we been saying this about Damian Lillard?
Hold on, Damian Lillard is he's a great regular season player. That's why I think he's going to do better, right?
You are the whole reason that I'm doubting Damian Lillard now. And
when it comes to the playoffs, you should, because he dies out.
I doubt him in general because I've never really, other than those logo shots that he makes, what the hell else has he done?
Team-wise, nothing.
Nothing!
Team-wise, nothing.
Donovan Mitchell, at least, that team is definitely going to be better than Portland. I can tell you that.
Look, if you want to interchange those two, sure, why not? I think both of them are playoff caliber teams. Do I have them in my playoff list? Y'all will have to find out a little bit later. But for right now, we're going to jump into the Pacific. I mean, Lakers number 1, Clippers number 2.
I can tell you one of those teams made it, the other one didn't.
Alright, hold on. Let me finish this out. So we got the Pacific. Lakers 1, Clippers 2, the Sacramento Kings 3, Phoenix Suns 4, Golden State Warriors 5.
You think that the Kings will win more games than the Suns?
I am very high on the Sacramento Kings this year. Very high. And I get the addition of Chris Paul, right? I get it.
Chris Paul literally makes everything.
Chris Paul, Devin Booker is a great duo. I don't think it's going to work the way we all think it should.
It wasn't supposed to work in Oklahoma, but how did that work out?
But I think OKC is a better team overall than Phoenix, but that's okay. Well, I bet you had the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs. I'll tell you right now, I don't have the Phoenix Suns in the playoffs. So we'll jump into the playoff.
They're not really that high. They're not really They're okay.
They're okay. Look, I'll finish out with the Southwest, and then let's jump into our actual playoff stuff right now. So in the Southwest, I got the Dallas Mavericks winning that one, followed by the New Orleans Pelicans, the Memphis Grizzlies, the San Antonio Spurs, and I actually have Houston at the bottom of this division.
I have Houston very low.
I do not have any faith in the Houston Rockets right now.
There's too much going on for them to focus and actually just win games. That's what I don't think will happen.
I totally agree. 100% agree. That's why I didn't have them in the playoffs. That's why I had them at the bottom of this. So
okay, let me go first with the seedings.
Before we jump into this, do you think that what I just put out there was unreasonable in your eyes?
It's not unreasonable.
A couple debatable things. If you guys see differently, let us know down in the comments.
I wouldn't even say debatable because I mean they're just like interchangeable more than anything. But I mean that would really. It would really just affect the playoffs, I guess. We're just talking about the regular season. If we're just talking about
that really just affects draft position, who's gonna get what spot in the lottery and stuff like that. And then I use that to base off like my my record going into the playoffs, right? So you said you want to start us off with the seedings. So do you want to start us off in the East, or do you want to start us off in the West?
In the West.
Okay, now, we do have... You have all 10 teams, right?
That's what I'm about to put down.
Okay,
right
so
now.
I had to...
I got them now. All right, so with the West, I have obviously the number one's going to be the Lakers. That's.
I mean, that's hands down. I think that one's pretty obvious. I also have the Lakers at number one in the Western Conference.
I saw something. I wanted to ask you about this too.
Okay.
I saw something. There was someone said that Nikola Jokic will have a better year than Anthony Davis.
Okay.
And what do you think about that?
I think that person might be named Lamar Odom because I believe he is now at the Bunny Ranch smoking crack.
It's not an unreasonable thing if you think about it.
It's not unreasonable. It's that I think Anthony Davis is at least 5 times better than Nikola Jokic.
But how many games is really what that would depend on?
I think Anthony Davis is going to play a lot more games than we expect because LeBron is going to be taking it easy this year. So there's going to be a lot of things falling on Anthony Davis.
But AD has a kind of an injury history.
Yeah, he does, and he'll get his time to rest too. But he really is the number one option on that team this year. For the regular season, while LeBron is resting, he is going to be number one.
Well, hold on. He should be the number one option regardless.
I'm not going to say I disagree, but you can't rule out LeBron James being your number one because of how dangerous he is with the basketball, not only as a scorer, but as a distributor.
But if Anthony Davis gives you 25 and 10, I would guarantee you will win.
I'll take it. Absolutely.
I would guarantee you will win.
Normally, if Anthony Davis drops those stat lines,
then he's
he's
going to sprinkle in like 2 or 3 blocks on top of that and some assists as well.
Of course.
So that's why I said if you say AD's going to go out this night and give you 25 and 10, I'm confident that he would win.
I believe it 100%. So who you got at the number 2 spot?
Nuggets.
You got the Nuggets at number 2. Okay, so my number 2 team is actually the Dallas Mavericks.
You put them up very high.
So like I told you, I am super high on the Dallas Mavericks, and you'll understand why when we get into our awards section of this episode.
I mean, yeah, but here's the thing. Without Porzingis, that team is hindered
tremendously.
Tremendously,
yes.
For the first 2 months, he's going to be out.
I get it.
He's going to be out with the knee, and then you also have to factor in as well. He's going to have to work himself back into things. He can't just hop right back in how he did in the bubble.
But I also really like the bench players and the depth that they have on that Dallas Mavericks
team. They do.
I think towards the end of the year and going into the playoffs and the bubble.
Oh, I already knew that they had a bench.
They really started to mesh together, and they really started to play well. And it was unfortunate that Porzingis went down in the playoffs when he did.
But even still, once Porzingis went out, Trey Burke stepped up. There was quite a few people that stepped up on that team. So, I mean, the only thing that's really going to hinder them, like I said, is Porzingis. Now, if Porzingis comes back, because he's only going to be out for 2 months, if he can come back and kind of work himself in relatively quickly and get back into the flow of things.
Is it unreasonable to think that without Porzingis, they'll be sitting at maybe the 4 seed, and then once he comes back, they work their way up to the 2 seed by the end of the year? See, that was my thought process behind that.
But last year, they were still struggling in between, not even the top half. They were struggling in the lower half.
Their bench players were not playing phenomenal in the regular season.
They were, though.
They, to a degree, you can say they were playing well, but fully, I don't think so.
They were probably operating at like 75% of what they were doing in the bubble before that.
See, I'm just really high on the Dallas Mavericks. If you don't have them at number 2, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're insane. You got the Denver Nuggets at 2. Who you got at number 3?
The Clippers.
You got the Clippers at 3? Okay, so I have the Nuggets at 3. So that's why I don't think the Nuggets at 2 is like unreasonable.
Now the Clippers.
I have the Clippers at 4. So I got the Nuggets at 3, and I got the Clippers at 4.
Well,
I saw that game that they put up, and.
Well, that just goes to show you the importance of Kawhi Leonard and why they shouldn't have paid Paul George all of that money, number 1. And number 2, playoff PP is exactly who we thought he was. He's just not good. Paul George can definitely get you. He's like a bad version right now of Jordan Clarkson. Like, I would honestly rather have Jordan Clarkson than him.
I'm just going to move on after that one. I can't even fathom that being a real statement. That's how insane I think you are for that one.
Paul George threw the ball at the referee.
Yeah, but people throw the ball at the referee all the time.
That bozo had motherfucker. He looked right at Luke Kennard right here and threw the ball over here. You literally looked at your man who you supposed to throw the ball to and then threw it at the referee and then turned around and was like, why weren't you there?
Yeah, but I don't like Luke Kennard, so I don't blame him for not passing him because that's. Go back and listen to our Why You Should Fire the Detroit Pistons from Drafting, and you'll understand why I don't like Luke Kennard.
Look, Paul George is not good. Paul George can get you 30 points like every 10 fucking games, which is not good.
Paul George has been one of my favorite players in the league for a long time, but
Paul,
I dropped the Clippers down to 4.
Because of Paul George.
Exactly. Because of Paul George, because their depth isn't there, and honestly...
Trez is gone.
That 50-point deficit at halftime against the Dallas Mavericks.
Another thing, like I said,
even without Kawhi Leonard, you're a professional basketball team. Professional. How many times have you seen someone get down by 50? This is not, Jesus.
It's one of the biggest deficits. Well, it's the biggest deficit.
This is not the Harlem Globetrotters, okay? This game does not need to be 50 points at half.
I don't think I've ever seen a Harlem Globetrotter game.
I've been there. I've been twice.
They've been blowouts?
They've never been blowouts.
That's
it's
what
always
I'm saying.
close.
It's always close.
It's always close, but it's
always
fun.
Close.
It's always a fun time.
It's always a good time, but it's not like watching the Clippers getting dropped a fucking 50 ball on.
Yeah, they need to do better, but that's literally
They're not
why
gonna do better.
That's why I took them from like a 2 or 3, dropped them down to the 4.
The only reason
I didn't drop them below 4 because Kawhi Leonard. That's it.
That is the whole reason he is at number 3 on my list. He is at number 3. Not the Clippers. Zubac is there. Serge Ibaka is there. But hell, if Paul George is going to continue to play, Paul George is a fucking cancer. Right? Everywhere that Paul George has gone, where have they gone?
Not past the conference finals, unfortunately. He keeps running into LeBron James.
You ran into
LeBron James.
Well, hell, where LeBron? He didn't face LeBron last year. What happened to him?
Dame Lillard.
He saw
Dame Lillard.
No, it was Jamal Murray that put him out.
Same
well, no,
difference.
that was a couple. Yeah, you're
same difference.
Okay. What? That's not any better. He just keeps getting run out of every place that he's in. He got ran out of Indy. He got ran out of the Thunder. And now he's about to get run out of the Clippers, too. And the Clippers just got to sit there and just take that on the chin.
They're the ones that paid him.
Exactly.
All right, let's move forward. Let's go 5 through 10.
Clippers suck because of Paul George.
Let's go 5 through 10. Obviously, these ones aren't as important, so we won't.
Oh, I had the Mavericks at number 4.
Okay, you have Mavs at number 4. That's solid. So we have 3, 2, 3, 4. We're different there. Who you got at 5?
The Suns.
The Suns, okay.
Just because that's where OKC was last year.
I don't even have the Suns making the playoffs. I got the Trailblazers at 5. Who you got at 6?
Utah.
Utah, okay. I got New Orleans at 6, and then I have Utah at 7. I think Zion and Brandon Ingram, I think they're going to do well. Who you got at 7?
The Rockets, but they're fighting. They're fighting. And when you told me that that those play-in games were in effect, now that you told me that, I don't think that they're making it with these other teams that I'm looking at. Because 8, I have the Spurs. The Spurs are going to make the playoffs this year. I saw what they've been playing like. DeJounte Murray is playing like a fucking savage right now.
I don't have the Spurs making the playoffs either.
Listen.
But I really like DeJounte Murray. I think he's always been a solid player. I'd love to see him take that next step and go forward.
DeJounte Murray is playing very, very fucking great. Okay? DeMar DeRozan is still playing like DeMar DeRozan is, except he's just like another notch. Like, he's been averaging 28 these past 3 games, which is really, really good. And I know that if he can keep that up, LaMarcus Aldridge stays healthy.
They still
Greg
have Pop.
Popovich
They still have Pop. I'll never rule them out.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's their year. I don't think they're going to make it back.
They're going to make it into the playoffs.
I'd love for them to prove me wrong, all right? The Spurs they're a great organization who do the right thing. I love that aspect of the San Antonio Spurs.
Last year was the only year.
I just don't have faith that they're better than some of these other teams on my list. Like, 8, I got the Grizzlies. 9, I got the Kings. 10, I got the Suns.
Yeah, see, I have the Timberwolves. I have the bottom 3 that are going to be fighting it out for the 7th and 8th. Well, really, just the 8th place, because I have the Spurs going in. So it'll be the Timberwolves, Portland, or the Grizzlies.
See, I just don't have faith in Cat and D'Angelo Russell.
Hell, I have faith in, my bad, Anthony Edwards.
I like Anthony Edwards. He deserved the number 1 pick.
Anthony Edwards is playing like a fucking bat out of hell over there. He's got something to prove. They're 3-0 right now, too.
I can't buy into the hype of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I'm not neither, but I believe in that kid. That kid is really good. I saw him play.
There's a reason he was the number 1 pick.
He's
Look,
good.
There's very possible that he can be in the Rookie of the Year. I think
that's who I picked for the Rookie of the Year.
It's a 3-man race for Rookie of the Year between him, LaMelo, and James Wiseman.
LaMelo's not gonna do it. He's sitting behind Terry Rozier and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, isn't he?
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Not Gilchrist.
Awful. Devontae Graham is
my bad. Miles Bridges is still over there. He's got some people to beat out before he can even get into the starting lineup.
I think he'll be okay. I think he could do
Two of those kids are already in there. Are already in the starting lineups and making a difference.
You don't have to be a starter to win this award.
The way that Anthony Edwards is playing, and he's a starter, and the way that James Wiseman could develop into, and he's a current starter, I think that's better than someone who's on a... Do you see the Hornets making the playoffs?
No, I have the Hornets as one of the, bottom 5 teams in the league.
I kind of just put the Hornets on there just because I'm like, all right, I don't know who else to pick in the fuck. I think the Wizards would make it in before they made it into the playoffs.
All right, so let's go into the East. I'm assuming you have the Nets at number 1 also.
The Nets are obviously at number 1.
All right, so I got the Bucks at 2. I mean, obviously, Giannis.
You have them way higher than I do.
Really? You don't even where? Okay. Who's your number 2? I almost
the Celtics.
Pick. The Celtics. Okay, I love the Celtics. I got them at number 3. So I'm not against it. Who you got at 3?
The Sixers.
You got the Sixers. Okay, so I got the Sixers down on my list. I think they're.
Well, who do you have at number? Well, hold on. Who do you have at number 3?
So number 3, I have the Boston Celtics, and then number 4, I have the Miami Heat.
I have them at number 4 as well.
Okay, so you have them at number 4,
Yep.
and I have the 76ers at 5, unfortunately.
See, I have the Bucks at 5.
Okay, so you have them down pretty low on your list. Why do you not have faith?
Because Giannis Antetokounmpo is on a milk carton. The way that I've been seeing everyone play Giannis, they figured him the fuck out. And unless he gets a shot in, unless he figures out how to shoot a 3-point or just at least the mid-range, or make all of his free throws,
I think
they're not going to win.
I think he might turn into more of a post-dominant player this year. I think we're going to see...
Everyone's got the post locked up right now.
That man is big, tall, strong, and athletic. You can't hold that down for long. Talent will shine.
So what did that get him against Jason Tatum?
Not much, but...
What did that get them when they lost to the Knicks?
We're early in the season, man. It's okay. I don't hold the beginning of the season against anybody.
I do.
There's bad teams that are 3-0. There's good teams that are 0-3. It happens. We're still early in the season.
There's a certain standard you should hold yourself to if you are the reigning top team and the reigning MVP. There's some teams you shouldn't lose to.
Hey, anybody can lose on any given day. I'm not.
You shouldn't lose by 20 fucking points to the Knicks.
It happens. It does happen, especially early on in the season. I'm not disagreeing that you shouldn't lose to the Knicks, but everyone in basketball wins and loses games. Nobody's going undefeated.
Nobody's going undefeated.
Everyone's going to win.
Obviously, because there's only been one. And there's only been a couple teams that went 70 some odd wins.
Yeah.
But you don't. Out of those 9 games that they lost, they didn't lose to the Knicks.
I bet you if you go back and look at it, you'll be surprised at who they actually lost to.
The Warriors?
Just those best
or the
teams.
Bulls.
I'm talking
or
about just the
them.
top teams in general in history.
I feel like I
go
wouldn't
back
be-
and look, and I guarantee you there's teams on there that you'd be like, damn, how'd they lose to them? It just happens over the course of an NBA season. Sometimes you're just not on your game.
I just don't see. I don't see Giannis showing up right now. He's gonna have to prove a
I know,
whole
but
lot.
to be the 5 seed in the East, come on, man, that's
The
wild.
76ers are good now.
The 76ers weren't bad. They just look. They still have
They
Doc
got
Rivers.
shooters.
That's
They've got shooters.
I like the 76ers. I don't think they'll win anything with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. I think you need to ship off Ben Simmons, but that's okay.
I don't
got a
think
6.
I don't think that you win without Ben Simmons.
See, I don't believe. I think Ben Simmons. The same reason you don't like Giannis is the same reason I don't like Ben Simmons.
Well, Ben Simmons, I feel like
He has no shot.
he has no shot, but he's been sort of a playmaker as well. I haven't seen that from Giannis yet, neither. Right now,
Well, yeah, Ben Simmons is a playmaker.
yes,
It's
he
just
is, and
he
at
doesn't
least-
make buckets himself. But
He gets his other teammates buckets. He's got Seth Curry out there now. He doesn't need anybody else. Just boop.
Dude,
Three.
I've seen Seth Curry go cold in a heartbeat.
I haven't seen him go cold. I didn't see him go cold last year.
I have.
When he was on the Mavericks?
Yes. He may have been one of the top shooters in the league, but there are games where he goes cold.
I'm not denying
he's not
that.
Steph.
He's not Steph, but hell, he was playing. He's playing. They were about right here. This is Seth. This is Steph right now.
I think you're wild on that one, but that's okay. Who you got at 6?
The Pacers.
Pacers. I got the Raptors. Who you got at 7?
The Magic.
The Magic. I have the Pacers at 7. I don't really have faith in the Magic. Who you got at 8?
The Raptors.
The Raptors. Okay, I got Atlanta at 8, and then to round out 9 and 10, I got the Washington Wizards and Orlando Magic. Here's the thing, for the East, if you're not a top 3, top 4 seed, I don't think it matters.
No, it doesn't matter.
Like in the West, I think 1 through 8, just like last year, all have possibilities to make a name for themselves and do something. In the East, I think it's 1 through 4, maybe a 5th team in there. Other than that, I don't really see anybody else.
I see Milwaukee. Their peak right now is the semifinals again.
I don't find that to be unreasonable. Could they make the conference finals? Yes. Do I have them making the conference finals? No. I don't.
I honestly believe that if they don't play their best basketball, they will not make it out the first, from what I've seen. They have not showed me anything that has... Okay, you added Drew Holiday. Y'all are still doing the exact same thing as last year. And it's going to work during the regular season for a little while until these teams really just start to put the clamps on Giannis, how they have been in the beginning. So if they do that throughout the season and that leaks into the postseason, that's gonna be really bad for them. If Giannis gets locked down this whole season,
I can't see that happening at all.
with these,
I can't.
I can see it happening with the Celtics. I can see it happening with the Sixers. It did happen with the Heat. We saw it in the series. The Pacers play some damn good defense when they want to.
Yeah, Miles Turner is a really good center.
And what's the one with the braids? He's got beef with Jimmy Butler.
T.J. Warren.
T.J. Warren. He gets clowned on a lot by Jimmy, but he's a really good basketball player.
I really enjoyed the Indiana Pacers. Do I think they're a better team than the Bucks? Absolutely
No,
not.
but if the Bucks don't shape up and start playing how they're supposed to, how they have been these previous seasons, then they will get beat by teams like the Pacers.
100% agree. 100%. Let's get moving forward. We're getting towards our time limit here. So, conference finals. We'll stay in the Eastern Conference. We all know that your choice to win the NBA Finals in general is the Brooklyn Nets. So
yes.
I'll just ask you, who do you have the Nets beating in your Eastern Conference Finals?
The 76ers.
You have the Philadelphia 76ers in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, because a couple of years ago, it was just one wild-ass shot that kept them away from the finals. Last year, everybody was hurt. They literally had just Al Horford out there, and
Okay. So, you have the 76ers in the conference finals.
yes,
I have the Boston Celtics. Now, obviously, you made a good point. The fact that they were injured last year and they were one shot away from
and we both saw
from
that.
losing it.
I love Kawhi, but that shot should not have gone in. They should have been in the conference finals.
But that does not give me faith in the 76ers going forward this year. Now, do I hate your choice? Absolutely not. I could easily see the 76ers making it in, right?
They got a better coach. That's really what it is. They got a better coach.
I would not be surprised.
And one extra shooter. That was it.
I got the Celtics. I think the Celtics, get back to another Eastern Conference Finals and yet lose yet again because Brooklyn's too good. Shift over to the West now. So, in your Western Conference Finals, before our camera sadly cut off, we came to, the same conclusion. We both have the Lakers and the Mavs.
Because there's no one else in the West who...
There's just...
Unfortunately, I don't see the Nuggets.
I don't see any other... I'm super high on the Mavs. I have faith in Luka Doncic to get them there. I have faith in Kristaps. I have faith in that bench. I just want to see it all going forward.
I'm confident that if Luka would have made it to the next round, he probably would have beat them.
Yeah. Look, I was with you. I thought that they could have beat the Clippers.
No, I'm talking about the Nuggets.
The Nuggets, yeah.
If they would have made it to the next round, they probably would have made it to beat the Nuggets.
Yeah, I had faith. You remember recording the episode and I said they were the dark horse that could screw everything up in the West?
Yeah.
This year, I think they take that next step. And then,
they're not a dark horse. They're a beautiful stallion. They're out there.
We're both going with the Brooklyn Nets to win the NBA title. I've been convinced after watching just a couple games. He's been on the train.
Man, me and Q-Baby have been driving this bandwagon ever since they got together. I didn't believe it for literally like a week, and then once I started to put two and two together, I was like, damn. And then that bench too, and then they got this, and then they got that, and then they ended up getting Steve Nash as a coach. And he's like, I heard Skip say, "Oh well, Steve Nash this is his first time coaching." That doesn't matter.
He doesn't look like a first-time NBA coach.
I think exactly.
He's got these guys bought into this, and
they play some.
They're playing good basketball, good, solid, fundamental basketball.
Yes, and I feel like you can't play defense as much in this era, but you can. Remember what I was telling you?
It's really hard to play defense in today's NBA.
But remember what I always say about containing individuals? They do a really good job at containing individuals and getting turnovers.
For sure. KD is a super underrated defensive player.
Yes, he is.
Super underrated.
And now that we see that his bounce and his step is still intact, he's just going to go right back.
I just want to see him stay healthy all year. That's it. If he stays healthy all year, there's no doubt about it in my mind that they'll probably win this title.
But they're not going to overwork him. That would be if they would overwork him. But they don't even need him in half the games. They just need to put Kyrie Irving out there.
True. Very true.
And we know that Kyrie can go a full season.
We'll see how it, pans out in the end of the year. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll get back to it when it comes around. All right. I'm excited for it. You're excited for it.
If the Nets make the 8th seed, right, on the off chance that they drop that low,
Look,
I
never count them out. I don't care where they seed out. I wouldn't count them out as a champion. I would not, just because of the people on their team.
Because of the people
barring
that are on
injury.
there.
Barring injury,
that's the only thing that kept them from it last year. That is legitimately the whole thing. If Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving would have went into that bubble, we would be talking about something different.
Without a doubt.
I'm not saying that they would have won a championship, but we would have had a completely different conversation. We wouldn't even be mentioning Miami. Miami may be like 8 or 9. Honestly.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. So to end this episode, let's have ourselves an award show, baby. Let's start handing out awards. Now, we already talked about Rookie of the Year. You had strong feelings for a certain individual on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, it's Anthony Edwards. Okay, but this one ties into 2 awards, right?
Okay.
So, obviously, I said that I gave Anthony Edwards Rookie of the Year. If the Timberwolves can make the playoffs and Anthony Edwards is Rookie of the Year, I think it would go to them.
Okay, and you would give that guy the best coach.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I don't know why I don't remember who the Minnesota Timberwolves coach is. I mean, last time I checked, it was Tom Thibodeau, and then after that he got fired, and I just didn't care enough to go back and look.
Ryan Saunders.
Oh, all right. So Flip Saunders' kid. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. His dad was a good coach.
Yeah, so I honestly believe that if that team at least just makes the play, I don't give a fuck where they are. If they make the playoffs, he should get Coach of the Year because that team has been.
So let me present my argument for you for the best coach, right?
Ass.
I think it either goes to Steve Nash or Rick Carlisle, and that's because if the Nets make the 1 seed, I think you have to give Steve Nash the award, or if the Mavericks really do make the 2 seed, Rick Carlisle deserves that reward just because he took that team from, what were they, a 7 seed last year and brought them all the way up to a 2 seed. Luka and everybody plays fantastic. I think
last year
that would solidify him as a Coach of the Year.
Yeah, they were 7th last year.
That would be my reasoning behind that one.
No, they weren't 7th.
Yeah, they were. They were totally the 7th seed. Because they played the Clippers in the first round.
Oh.
So, that's why I believe that Rick Carlisle could, and those two are my 2 favorites to win, just because I think they have the best progression, the best showcase ability, and normally goes to the coach of the best team in the NBA. Normally, or one of the top teams. That would be my
top team.
That would be my argument for
Nick Nurse
why
ended up getting it once.
Yeah, and Dwayne Casey got it when he was a 2 seed, and I think it's very possible.
Dwayne Casey got it when the Pistons were.
He didn't get Coach of the Year for the Pistons. He got fired and then got hired. So he won the Coach of the Year, got fired. The Pistons signed him, and then they put in Nick Nurse.
Dude, these coaches swaps are confusing.
The coaches get swapped left and right. But let's transition this into the next award.
I don't know who's who anymore.
Let's go.
I know who Greg Popovich is. That's it. That's the only one I need to know.
Let's go towards the most improved player of the year.
I got DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray, you spoke highly of him earlier. I can't see it happening. Now my first one, this only happens if he takes the step from star to superstar, and that's Ja Morant. The second person that I put on this list that has a good chance would be Michael Porter Jr.
I would see it being Michael Porter Jr. more than Ja Morant.
The only think about it this way, right? Ja Morant averaged like 18 points last year and about 7 assists. What happens if this year he averages 25 and 8? Is that not worthy of most improved player?
But what if Michael Porter Jr. ends up averaging 20 and fucking 9? Do you not give it to him?
Then I would give it to whatever team places better. Out of the 2 teams, because they would have such similar stat lines, such similar jumps. I think it would. That would be my decision factor.
That really wouldn't be fair to Ja Morant because the Nuggets are going to make a higher seed regardless. The Nuggets aren't missing the playoffs. The Grizzlies are in that bottom seed. They could miss the playoffs. They missed it last year, just by 1 game.
Just by 1 game. Yeah, I mean, but they're also going to be healthier this year. Hopefully, they added another pick, another young guy.
They lost Jaren Jackson.
They lost Jaren Jackson to an injury last year.
No, he's somewhere else. No, Josh Jackson, my bad.
Yeah, Josh Jackson's a fucking bum. He's on the Pistons. He's a top 5 pick that didn't work out.
Bro, the Grizzlies need more people than nobody. Who else is on the Grizzlies?
You just mentioned a fucking nobody.
Valanciunas?
You mentioned a nobody and said that they need more or less nobodies, and then provided a nobody.
Dude,
Josh Jackson is a bum.
Josh Jackson was
bum.
He was
bum.
Better than what the fuck they got on that team now. Name me somebody else.
bum.
Name me
It
somebody
doesn't
else.
matter who else you put. He's a
I
top
only-
5 pick who's been on 4 teams and isn't any good. He's
Name
on
me
the
some-
Detroit Pistons. That's all. Hopefully he turns into something so we can trade him.
Name me another individual on the Grizzlies.
You want me to
No,
pull
don't
up the
Google it. Don't Google it. Don't Google it.
Because look, I'll take Valanciunas. I'll take everybody on that roster right now over that.
Just name me another person, because I already said Valanciunas. Name me another
And
person
Jaren
on there.
Jackson. You also look. I'd have to go in and actually. look at
Exactly,
who's on
because
the
he ain't
team.
got nobody on these bottom teams that I'm naming off right now. With the Timberwolves, Portland, and the fucking Spurs, and the Rockets, there are multiple individuals that can tear that whole team's ass apart.
And John Morant's the difference maker, and why I think he could be most improved player.
Until somebody puts the clamps on him. If he
Have you seen someone put clamps on John Morant? No, I didn't think
I
so.
said until they do.
I didn't think so.
Okay. So do you think?
Yeah.
So if there's a play-in game, right, and there's Portland and the fucking Grizzlies, who you think's making it in?
I'll take the Grizzlies.
You're wild. I thought you said that you were so high on Damian Lillard and all of this other stuff.
Regular season, yes. But we all know that Damian Lillard doesn't win in the playoffs. We talked about this. I got John Morant, if that is the case, you know? But you were talking about some clamps, so let's talk about the defensive player of the year.
Marcus Smart.
Really?
Yes.
Marcus Smart.
He put clamps on Giannis the other night. And if he continues to do that every game,
Look,
did you not see what he did in the playoffs too?
I love Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart he's a great defensive player, and he is a clutch offensive player.
I think he's a liability on offense.
He's a clutch offensive player.
When he needs to put the ball in the basket, he can. But any other time you just ask him to go for a layup or something like that, he's gonna miss it.
Yeah, but how can you deny Anthony Davis?
Because he's gonna be the MVP. Why would you give him Defensive Player of the Year? He already got Defensive Player of the Year last year, didn't he?
That was Giannis.
Oh, so they gave it to that bum who's not gonna play any defense this year.
I think there's no way you don't give it to Anthony Davis because he is gonna be.
I
He is the best defender on that team.
I don't think that you give it to Anthony Davis because you're gonna give him the MVP.
See, I don't have him winning the MVP. I have Luka Doncic winning the MVP.
I have 3 individuals listed for MVP and Luka's not on there.
But I told you, I'm high on the Mavericks. I'm high on Luka. I think that he takes that step into his MVP season.
I've seen Luka play. He's only had a couple of flashes. And we can't let these flashes. I'm not saying that he's not going to be good because he's still young. He's very young, and he's still making young mistakes. Is the thing.
I think he's ready.
He's not a consistent 3-point shooter. His free throw shooting is suspect when it's clutch.
He's ready, man. This is the year.
I mean,
this is the year.
Last year was supposed to be the year.
No, but he was a candidate. He was in the talk. He was in the conversation. Just like I think Jason Tatum's going to be in the conversation, but he won't win it this year.
If he can consistently shoot a 3 instead of shooting what he was shooting before, because unless it was like the last second and it was just a ridiculous play where he's just throwing the ball up, like the ball's gonna go in the basket. But I haven't seen anything. Obviously, he had the one clutch shot against the Clippers, but like this,
hey,
that's really it.
Luka's my MVP this year. I'm doubling down on this. If I had to put money on it, I would.
I would put money on the 3 individuals that I have.
Who you got 3? Who?
Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, or Kyrie Irving, depending on who would play more.
No to Kyrie, yes to the other 2.
If Kyrie averages like 32,
I don't care how good Kyrie plays, he will not be an MVP.
Look,
I think there's just no way.
The way that he was playing,
it won't happen.
And then if Kyrie continues to play the way that he's been playing, I think he has.
I also love Kyrie. You know me. I love Kyrie Irving. He will not be an MVP this season, but that's okay.
I said know why? It's between one of those 3.
Because of KD and also who I have as the 6th man of the year.
Well, if KD only plays like 40 some odd games, but Kyrie ends up playing like 60 something.
I still don't think you give it to him.
You would give it to KD even
I'd
though
still-
he plays 40
I'd
games?
still rather give it to Luka Doncic. I'd still rather give it to an Anthony Davis. I'd rather give it to a LeBron James.
Look,
I'd rather give it to...
If KD sits out quite a bit of this season...
I'd rather give it to Jason Tatum than give it to Kyrie Irving. I'd rather give it to Jaylen Brown than give it to Kyrie Irving.
If Kyrie Irving continues to play the way that he is and continues to bring that team together, which he has, I think that he has a shot to be the MVP. But obviously, he is my third pick. I would want Kevin Durant to pick it to be the MVP, but my realistic side is saying that Anthony Davis is going to be the MVP.
Can't hate on it. Oh, but like I said, I got Karis LeVert as a sixth man. That's gonna stop Kyrie. That's gonna stop KD from winning MVP. Who you got for the sixth man?
I don't think that was. I mean, I have Karis LeVert, but I don't have.
You also have Karis LeVert.
I don't have that. That wouldn't stop them.
I think that mitigates their talks for MVP. I truly
Why?
do. Just because he's going to take up a good portion of that offense, and he's going to take touches away from KD and Kyrie.
But they're not. Karis LeVert, I hate to say it, but he's not the driving force of that team.
He doesn't have to be the driving force. He's
If
the same reason Lou Williams prevented Kawhi from being in the MVP talk.
No, Kawhi prevented himself from being in the MVP talk.
Sure. Well,
What the fuck are you gonna tell me? And that's my favorite player.
Because I will tell you things that you don't want to hear.
Like what?
Like the fact that, Jalen Hurts isn't a good quarterback. Go check our last week video. The fact that Kyrie won't win an MVP. The fact that you're crazy for having the Bucks at 5.
I said that he could. I didn't say that he would. I said that he could.
I can't even see a possibility where he could.
What's wrong with me saying that he could do something? It's not like I'm saying he is. He's going to go on. He's going to drop 40 each night, and he's going to do this, and he's going to do that. No, I said that he could.
There is just better options.
He has an opportunity to.
There's
my number one.
The fact that you have Kyrie over Luka Doncic for MVP is absolutely insane. I'm going to stop it at this because we're running really long on this video.
Hey.